It's fascinating, isn't it? How sometimes life can feel like watching a movie, where everyone else is the star, effortlessly guiding through scenes filled with beauty, abundance, success, love and laughter. And you're just in the background, watching, wondering. But what if, just what if, that wasn't entirely true? What if the story you've been telling yourself is simply one version, a draft, and you hold the pen to rewrite it? Now I wonder, have you ever noticed how some of the most beautiful things in nature, like a flower blooming, they seem to happen so quietly, so effortlessly, so almost as if they weren't trying at all. And yet deep within that process, there's an unstoppable force, a natural rhythm, guiding every moment, every action, until that flower bursts forth into its full glory. And maybe, just maybe, there's a part of you, a deep, unshakable part, that knows this rhythm exists in you too. Because here's the thing, when it feels like you're cursed, or stuck, or punished, that's just your mind running an old program, like software. It served a purpose once, maybe protecting you, maybe helping you to learn something important. But now, that program has run its course. And the truth is, you don't have to believe every thought you think. Isn't that freeing? Imagine for a moment a bird in a cage. For years it's known nothing else. It's convinced this tiny space is all there is. But one day, today perhaps, the door swings open. Now at first the bird might hesitate, might doubt, but eventually something inside, instinct, curiosity, freedom takes over. And it realizes the cage was never locked. What if that's how it's been for you? What if the cage of doubt, regret and struggle has been open all along, just waiting for you to step out? And here's a thought that might surprise you. Those people who seem to have everything, the confidence, the wealth, the love, they weren't born with it, no. They stumbled, they've fallen, doubted themselves, just like you. But they learned something powerful. They learned success. It isn't about having it all figured out. It's about believing, deeply, unshakably, that you deserve it, that you're worthy of it, and taking the tiniest step forward again and again. You see, the harder you've been trying, the further away it seemed, because trying, it often comes from a place of lack, doesn't it? It's like saying, I don't have this, so I must force it. But when you step into that truth, you already have within you all the seeds of greatness. The very fact that you're here, breathing, alive, means you're worthy. Then everything begins to shift. And maybe you're starting to realize that the mistakes you've made, the regrets you've carried, they aren't punishments or curses, they're lessons. They're like a compass pointing you towards growth, towards understanding, towards becoming the person you've always been meant to be. Because here's the secret. You don't need to earn worthiness. You don't need to prove anything. You were born worthy just as you are. So now picture this. A spiral staircase. You're standing at the bottom. And at the top is everything you ever wanted. The confidence, the joy, the abundance, the laughter, the love. Now, you don't have to sprint to the top, do you? All it takes is one step, and then another and another. And with each step, you feel lighter, stronger, more certain that you're on the right path. And even when it feels hard, you know deep down that every step forward is progress. And here's the beautiful part. As you take these steps, the belief starts to grow in you. The belief that you can. The belief that you deserve to. The belief that your past doesn't define you. But the choices you make today, right now, do. And you can begin to notice the tiniest shifts. Maybe it's in the moments of kindness to yourself. Maybe it's allowing yourself to laugh again, to dream again, to hope again. Because every great journey starts with hope, doesn't it? And you might begin to wonder, what if everything you thought that was missing was never really missing at all? What if it was just waiting, like a treasure buried under layers of doubt and fear, ready for you to uncover it? And as you imagine brushing away those layers, uncovering the treasure within, you feel it, that spark, that knowing, that yes, I can. Because you can, and you will. And in fact, you already are. It's fascinating, isn't it? How your mind already knows things you haven't fully allowed yourself to realize yet. Like a whisper of truth you can't quite hear, but you feel it, somewhere deep inside. Like the roots of a tree, reaching further down, growing stronger, even when you're not aware of it. And maybe you've spent time thinking that something is missing. What if the only thing that's missing was the recognition that it's already there? Because you've seen this before, haven't you? The way seeds seem so small, so insignificant, almost like they hold nothing of value at all. And yet inside that tiny seed, there's an entire tree, just waiting to grow. It doesn't need to ask permission to become what it's meant to be. It doesn't beg the sun to shine or the rain to fall. It just knows, without even knowing how it knows, that everything it needs is already within it. And maybe you're starting to wonder if the same truth applies to you. You see, people, they often think they have to wait for something to happen out there before they can change it in here. But what if, just imagine, what if every step you've taken, every mistake, every failure, was just a necessary part of preparing the soil? Because you don't curse the rain for falling, do you? You don't blame the storm for rolling through. You know it's all part of what helps things to grow. Isn't it funny how the very thing that feels so heavy, so overwhelming, they're the things that create the richest, most fertile ground? So what if, and you don't have to decide this right away, but what if every struggle you've faced was never a punishment, but a lesson, a test, a teacher? And what if the fact that you're here right now listening means you've already passed? Because think about it. You've survived everything so far, haven't you? Even the moments that felt impossible. Even the times you thought where you couldn't go on. And what does that mean about you? Does it mean there's a strength in you that you haven't even begun to tap into yet? And maybe you've been telling yourself that you're behind, or that you've wasted too much time, or that it's too late. But let me ask you this. Have you ever seen someone take a single breath and in that moment change everything? Because that's all it takes, isn't it? Just one decision, one moment of clarity, one choice to believe something new, and suddenly everything shifts. Because when you believe, truly believe, that you're worthy, that you're enough, that you are more than capable, then something incredible happens. It's like you're stepping into a river that's been flowing all along. And suddenly you're not fighting against it anymore. You're moving with it, carried, supported, effortless. And as you think about those people who seem to have it all, the confidence, the joy, the success, isn't it interesting how they're not that different from you? They've felt doubts, they've faced failures, but the difference isn't in what they've experienced. It's in what they've chosen to believe about it. And you can choose too, can't you? Right now, to believe something different. To believe that your mistakes, they're stepping stones. Their challenges are opportunities. That your past doesn't define you. Because here's the truth. You don't need to do anything to deserve happiness, or love, or success, or peace. You don't need to earn it. You were born deserving it. And maybe you're starting to realize now, at some deep unconscious level, that everything you've been searching for has been within you all along. And as you think about that, notice how your mind begins to open to new possibilities. Imagine standing in front of a door you didn't even know was there. And as you reach out to open it, you feel a sense of excitement, of curiosity, because you know on the other side is a new version of you, a version that's free from the weight of old beliefs, a version that's ready to step into everything you've always wanted. And as you walk through that door, you realize something. You didn't need to become someone. You just needed to remember who you've always been. And maybe it feels like peeling away layers, like shedding an old skin, like letting go of something that was never really yours to carry. And the more you let go, the lighter you feel, the freer you feel, the more you realize every time you doubted yourself, every time you felt stuck, It was just a signal, a message, reminding you to look inside. Because that's where the answers are, aren't they? So now imagine looking in a mirror and seeing yourself. Not the version weighed down by old stories, but the real you. The you that's confident, radiant, powerful. The you that's always there, just waiting patiently for this moment. As you see that version of yourself, notice how it feels. To know you're already enough. To know that everything you've ever wanted is possible. To know the only thing that you have to do is to take one small step forward, and then another, and then another. And isn't it exciting to think about where the path will lead? Because you're not cursed, you're not broken, you're not unworthy, you're growing, you're learning, you're becoming. And every moment, even the hard ones, they're part of your journey. And maybe, just maybe, you're beginning to realize that you're exactly where you're meant to be. That you have everything you need, and the best is yet to come.